Peace, everyone, and this is Artist of Truth, and welcome to my vlog entry. So today's interesting and yet comical uh, vlog is going to be about Jimmy Kimmel. So, as some of you may know, Jimmy Kimmel has a lot to say about people who are unvaccinated. Okay, so I was actually listening to a snippet from his late night show, Jimmy Kimmel Live. It's like, shoot, I don't watch don't watch those types of shows because they have a tendency. Well, specifically uh, Jimmy Kimmel is a talk show host who never could cut it as a stand-up comedian. So, that was his best thing. But Jimmy Kimmel had a lot to say about those who are unvaccinated. Specifically, one of the things he had to say about unvaccinated people was if they happen to get sick, the hospitals should not help them because they're unvaccinated. Okay. Which I totally disagree with because these doctors are public officials. These doctors took an oath to help the public. So whether you are an asshole whose son had, heart complications and eventually had to have heart surgery, and then suddenly get on the internet and start crying and whatnot. It wasn't a funny situation because his son's health and well-being was in jeopardy. Okay, not because of anyone else, but because his son had heart complications, not because of someone that was unvaccinated, but someone that had the flu. But we'll get to that. So he had a lot to say, and this is one of the things that Jimmy Kimmel had to say.
You can't say that stuff. That's disinformation.
It's my opinion. You can't tell me what my opinion is, Jimmy.
No, Bill Gates microchipping your parents up the butt is not an opinion.
You're right. It's a fact.
No.
What are you hiding, Kimmel? Show us what's up your butt.
I am not going to show you. There's nothing in there. These are lies you're spreading. These are dangerous lies that you're spreading. These vaccines are very safe, and you're scaring kids now.
Now, Jimmy Kimmel, he stated that these vaccines are safe and effective. Come to think about it, that's the same thing that the members of Congress, members of the Biden administration, Dr. Fauci, which of course, Mr. Kimmel, Dr. Fauci lied to the face of Congress. Or did you miss that memo? The World Health Organization, the FDA, which of course the FDA approves a lot of pharmaceutical drugs, and then after, I don't know, after 15 or 20 some years after it has claimed the lives of millions and millions of Americans, the FDA suddenly decides it wants to pull that particular product from the public shelves. The irony. So the FDA, the CDC, which of course most Americans don't even bother to look at the VAERS report that is actually on the CDC's website and gives you a count of individuals who have taken the vaccine. and the number of people who had allergic reactions to the vaccine, and the number of deaths from this same vaccine. But I understand Jimmy Kimmel, he's not too bright. That's why he's on a talk show with dry humor. And also, he too is spreading misinformation. I understand, and I can guarantee you that Jimmy Kimmel, and like most Americans who just ran out there and took the jab, I understand most Americans did not even bother to read the consent form. Yeah. You know that little fine print at the bottom of the paper before you sign? That sometimes the doctors and the nurses, they don't bother to read because they know that folks like Jimmy Kimmel is a little slow. They read what they want to read. So to Mr. Jimmy, let me explain something to you. I'm not a doctor, not a doctor at all. Not a doctor at all. And I do not claim to be a doctor. But reading is fundamental. Seriously, reading is fundamental. So what I can share with you is when you fail to read that consent form, you know what happens? You are basically surrendering, you're basically waivering all of your rights to take any legal action against public officials. Public officials like doctors, nurses, mayors, governors, presidents, even pharmaceutical companies, in the event that you are harmed, damaged, or you lose your life behind this particular vaccination. Most Americans don't read that. Most Americans don't even bother to read the simple fact that you are wavering, as in you are giving up your rights to take any sort of action against these individuals who surprisingly are pushing this particular vaccine. And it's funny, if you present an affidavit of truth to these public officials, they will not sign them. Oh, why won't they sign them? Because they don't want to be held responsible. They don't want to be held liable for any damages or possible death that may result in something that they're not 100% sold on, but they're being forced or they're being told, yeah, I'm going to need you to keep this going. My apologies. I actually had a call to come in. But as I stated before, this is not misinformation. This is what this is, in my humble opinion, is the majority of Americans, their lack of comprehension, their lack of reading some of the most basic things, common sense. Why would the government entity and any of its co-conspirators, as I would like to call them, if this particular jab is 100% effective, right, and it prevents you from getting this particular virus, why is it that you have to get the American people to sign their rights away, to hold you responsible? And why is it that doctors who are saying, yes, this is effective, it's going to protect you, why is it that these public officials will not sign an affidavit of truth? That's an excellent fucking question, which of course I know Jimmy Kimmel, he will not ask that question at all. But getting back to Jimmy Kimmel's son, getting back to old William Billy Kimmel. You know, I don't joke around about anyone's child, but specifically with Jimmy Kimmel, yeah. Let's crack some jokes that's really gonna hit home for you, okay? So Jimmy Kimmel's son, back in May the 2nd of 2017, a tearful Jimmy Kimmel breaks down revealing newborn son's heart surgery, you know. And of course, when he returned to his Monday night show, he opened up about a health scare involving the newest member of his family and what have you. So this message is specifically for Jimmy Kimmel. If your son, by some chance, if I happen to be the doctor that you brought your son to, and I heard your disparaging, unsupported misinformation that you are spewing out to the public, because what this is basically doing is dividing American people. Yes, Jimmy, you are dividing the American people. Congratulations for being a superb dick for doing that. So technically you're part of the problem. You're not even part of the solution. Also, as I was saying, if I would have been a doctor and I heard this remark, and Jimmy, you would have brought your son to me, you know what I would have told you? I'm going to need you to get out of my hospital. I will not serve. I will not help you. I will not help your son, for the simple fact that you feel that those who are not vaccinated should not be served in a hospital. They should not be cared for. Mind you, we have had, I'm sure doctors have had prostitutes, pedophiles, cop killers, rapists. I'm sure doctors have had multiple individuals in their care that they probably really didn't even want to care for or save, but they had a job to do. They had an oath. They had an oath that they took to serve the public. This is not private. They took an oath to serve the public. I don't think Jimmy Kimmel isn't too bright. But I would say this: if Jimmy Kimmel was to have brought his son into my hospital after making that remark, I would have politely told him, after hearing your disparaging and misinformation remarks on your show, no, sir, I will not help your son. I will not help you. Take your son home. Pray over him. If he dies, he dies. So be it. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't feel good to hear another human being say that about a child that may or may not have had even heart complications to begin with. It could have been just an old stunt just to get more empathy from the public and gain more supporters or whatever. For whatever reason, so be it. But I understand that's something that you don't joke about. But also, you don't joke and you don't encourage other doctors to violate their oath of office. Some people will take legal actions against doctors who refuse care because, oh well, he's unvaccinated. I ain't got shit to do with you doing your damn job. You have a job to do. You have an oath to uphold. Now, if you can't uphold that oath, then when someone puts a lien on you, don't be surprised. Don't be upset. You're not a real doctor. You're a doctor for profit. And you're all about your personal opinions. Your personal opinion or your personal view on whether or not an individual who is vaccinated should receive care, your license should be pulled. Your license should be pulled. You're not a doctor. You are a selective pediatrician that you have select people that you want to care for. In that case, you should just become a private doctor. But also keep that same energy when your family or your loved one is in a compromising situation. Keep that same energy, my friend, because you really sound like a whole bitch on your show when you made that remark. Kimmel thanked the doctors and the staff both at California's Senior Sinai Hospital, where Billy was born, and Children's Hospital, Los Angeles, where the surgery was performed. Again, it's disgusting and it's divisive. But moreover, Jimmy, let us remember, you're not too bright. You're not a doctor. You're not a virologist. You're none of those things. You're a goddamn talk show host. You're a father. And you're willing to do whatever is required to protect your son. That's your right. Just like it's every other American's right to take the shot or not take the shot. But to create a sense of division amongst the American people at this time is not healthy. It's the only thing you're promoting is division. Misinformation. Hey, there's a lot of people that spews a lot of misinformation, but are we attacking them? Are we saying, oh, the public should neglect serving those who have a difference of opinion? It's called your right. You have a right. And just because your view is entirely different than someone else's does not mean, oh, the rest of society should separate from them. Because most of these Americans that you are talking about, most of these Americans are, one, watching your bullshit ass show. Two, are taxpayers. Three, are actually former military who actually went over and fought in someone's war just so you and your wife and your son, William, could live comfortably. Live comfortably. And you're making these asinine remarks? Look here, look here. I'm just, I'm going to wrap this up and say this. If doctors, nurses, and even talk show influencers or celebrities, if you really and truly think, because a lot of you don't know shit, okay? A lot of you don't know shit. Your agents is telling you what to do, what to say, how to say it, so your asses don't get penalized. If your government entity hasn't gotten vaccinated, what does that tell you? What does that tell you, Jimmy? Are you cracking jokes on, on those who are working in the White House that are saying, well, no, we're not getting vaccinated? Next question. If you're not cracking jokes on them or bringing the public's attention to that, you're not bringing the public's attention and reminding that, hey, Dr. Fauci lied before Congress about this whole pandemic. Hey, why should doctors at the Children's Hospital in Los Angeles, why should any of the doctors or the nurses give a flying fuck about your little William Billy? Why? Because he's your son? Oh, he has a heart condition. Do you think those doctors and those nurses should negate from doing their job that they were hired to do? That they took an oath to uphold and actually serve the public? Serve those who are sick? All because you decided to talk out your ass and make a joke, or should I say make a total and complete mockery of yourself, because you are just a disgusting individual. To speak against those who have rights. And if you really think about it, even Biden stated, this isn't about your rights. This is about what we think, not know, because if they actually knew it, then it wouldn't be a need for any Americans to sign a consent form alleviating them from any level of accountability. Let me say that for slow Kimmel, because Kimmel really, Kimmel does a whole lot of talking, but Kimmel don't know what the fuck he talking about. He's just another tired, washed up, wannabe comedian who happened to get a talk show and is spewing out even greater information and creating division amongst the American people. If you're not willing to sign an affidavit of truth, shut the fuck up, Jimmy. If you're not willing to put your life, your career, or better yet, your son's heart on the line to totally and completely say these vaccines are 100% effective, I guarantee you they will actually protect the public. No, it's not protecting the public. You full of shit. You have all of these individuals who have already went out here and they have taken the vaccine. What the hell you think videos started surfacing of people who took the jab and then all of a sudden they started developing side effects that altered their life? Who wants to sit up there and have their life, their health altered just to satisfy the government entity, the World Health Organization, the FDA, the CDC? But yet these are the same organizations and entities that have yet to cure cancer. Put that up your butt and smoke it, buddy. They haven't even cured cancer yet, but all of a sudden, oh, we got, we got the cure right here. How stupid can you, how stupid and naive and gullible can you people be? Again, just something to put on your mind. If this is really and truly 100% effective, then why is it these public officials refuse to sign affidavits of truth? I will challenge any and everyone. I guarantee you. Print out an affidavit of truth and present it to your doctor before you go and get that jab. Before you even sign any consent form. Learn how to read the shit. I guarantee you Jimmy Kimmel probably didn't even read it either. But You present that information to the public officials, guess what they will do? They will tell you, no, I will not sign that. Guarantee you. Any public official will tell you, no, I will not sign that. And then ask them why. Because if they're telling you that this is 100% effective and it's going to protect you, then shouldn't you stand by your product? Shouldn't you stand by the product that you are trying to push on people? No, oh boy. I never knew the number of Americans that were so goddamn gullible and willing to just throw their rights into the wind and trust the government entity and pharmaceutical companies and the FDA and the World Health Organization and the CDC, and all of these entities have had a history of lying. Don't even mention Dr. Fauci, because Dr. Fauci flips and he flops. At one point he was saying, oh, the mask protects you from, the mask will protect you from the C-19. We found out that was a lie. And then he came back and said, well, it's not 100% effective, but it's a preventative measure. And this is the same guy that's sitting in front of Congress lying. You lying to Congress. If you lying to Congress, that means you're lying to the American people. The fuck? Y'all not catching that. Or you see the indicator. You see the indicator bright as day, but you're not paying any attention until it actually lands on your doorstep. So many people are scared of what is considered the common cold. The common cold. But furthermore, what I do not hear public officials nor Jimmy Kimmel saying is, get up off your ass, America. Get outside. Exercise. Change your diet. Eat healthy. Stop eating genetically modified foods that even these entities like Tyson are actually putting chemicals or growth hormones in their products. And then they put it out on the shelf. Why? Because the FDA approves of it. But furthermore, I'll do you all one better. Why don't you try looking up the products that the FDA once approved and then turn around and went back and removed those products, those pharmaceutical products from public shelves because they have caused side effects, have claimed millions and millions of Americans' lives, young and old. They have claimed the lives of a lot of Americans already. But of course, they don't want you to see that. So of course, they will continue to do what they want to do at your expense. At your expense. So again, shout out to Jimmy Kimmel for being a total and complete asshole. And by the way, my heart goes out to your son, William. I hope I hope his heart is beating stronger than ever. Hopefully your son won't grow up to be such a imbecile like you. So in the meantime, in between time, America, you better pay attention. This isn't a video to divide people. This is a video to bring the public into a sense of awareness of what's going on and what you can do to protect yourself. All right? Have a good day.